discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
9-0.
Opposed? Okay, thank you very much.
This will be added to the addendum.
Okay, so we will, Annie will, I'd like a motion to adjourn.
Jonathan, second by Kathy.
Kathy, all in favor? Okay. Right now, Annie is gonna go prepare the addendum, and then we will open up the full board meeting.
No, Mr. Chairman,
What?
we can start the full board
We can
meeting
start-
in 1 second while you're doing your presentation. I can work on the
Okay.
addendum.
Well, we can start
Thank you,
doing the
Annie.
presentation before we start the meeting.
No, here we go.
Okay.
Full board.
Okay, we'd like to call to order. Would everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, roll call.
Mr. Samuelson.
Here.
Mr. Benson.
Here.
Mrs. Labuda.
Here.
Ms. Vedder.
Here.
Mr. Lewis.
Here.
Mrs. Geiger.
Here.
Mrs. Edwards.
Here.
Mr. Steingart.
Here.
Mr. Sorensen. Mr. Sorensen?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Mr. Sorensen!
Sorensen.
Are you here, Mr. Sorensen?
The press will be here later.
Mr. Sorensen is here.
That's all right. Everybody needs
Ladies
a
and
good
gentlemen,
photo
Alan
op.
Sorensen. Okay. I would love to think that you're all community and civic-minded people here because you care about how your government works. But I understand that we have a very special presentation today, and I am so pleased that you are all here. So I am going to turn things over to Asa Siegel right now, and let's proceed with our very special occasion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the legislature. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
It is wonderful to be here inside together on this brisk autumn day. My name is Asa Siegel, and I worked for 11 years as a teaching artist in the New York City public schools. I live in South Fallsburg with my wife and our 2 young daughters. And I have offered volunteer service to the SYDA Foundation for the past 15 years in numerous capacities, and I currently serve as a spokesperson. I am honored to be present here today in the Sullivan County Legislature's monthly meeting to present the 28th Annual SYDA Foundation Community Service.
Asa, can you speak into the microphone a little bit more?
Thank you. This award, one of Sullivan County's highest distinctions, is given to recognize and honor local citizens whose community service has been remarkable and truly outstanding. Community service is one of the strong bonds that holds a community together and is always worthy of acknowledgement. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., an American community service hero who 50 years ago this year gave his inspiring I Have a Dream speech, says this about service. Everyone can be great because anyone can serve. All it takes is a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. It is this spirit of service that we are honoring here today. The SYDA Foundation Board of Trustees established the Community Service Award in 1986 to honor and acknowledge those who perform service that improves, uplifts, and develops the Sullivan County community. An esteemed committee of Sullivan County civic leaders and previous award recipients, many of whom are present here today, select each year's award recipients. And I would like to acknowledge one member of that committee in particular, the 2012 SYDA Foundation Community Service Award recipient, Paul Sullivan. have made a tremendous contribution to the community in Sullivan County and continue to inspire others to follow in their footsteps. And now, it gives me great pleasure to announce the recipients of the 28th Annual SYDA Foundation Community Service Award. Please join me in congratulating Al and Maria Frangipani.
Thank you very much.
Let me share with you a little bit about the Frangipanis and some of the extraordinary things they've done to be honored here today. Maria and Al have been married for 47 years. Al hails from Brooklyn, Maria was raised in Woodburn, and they met in 1964 when Al was visiting the Catskills and became married shortly after in 1966. They are the proud parents of 3 grown children, Denise, Claudia, and Nicholas, and the grandparents of 4 grandchildren, Ian, Aiden, Alexandra, and Hunter. Maria and Al have contributed to Sullivan County in so many ways. For years, they have volunteered as first responders with the Lions Club Alert Program and the local American Red Cross. In emergency events, they coordinate efforts between the Lions and Red Cross to staff shelters with volunteers. Al and Maria trained volunteers and staffed the Red Cross shelter at Sullivan County Community College after last year's Hurricane Sandy. And so many people and families received shelter, fresh water, and supplies when they were without heat and electricity in the aftermath of Sandy. And Maria and Al were there for them and continue to be available when needed most. Maria chairs the Bethel Lions Club C program, and C stands for Screening Eyes Early. Every year, she and Al, in person, the 2 of them, visit preschools and daycare centers to screen children for amblyopia, a potentially serious eye condition. And through the C program, over 1,000 children have been screened. And those children who have signs of amblyopia detected in the screenings are then treated and saved from a potential life with impaired vision. To bring this home, Al just shared with me that recently he was in Ellenville, and it was a blustery day, and there weren't many children there for screening. They were only able to screen 3 children, and of those 3 children, 2 had signs that were detected in the program. Maria and Al volunteer as patient advocates at the Catskill Regional Medical Center. Al is also known as the Heart Man, as he has raised thousands of dollars for the CRMC cardiopulmonary unit through radiothons and by distributing cardboard hearts to local businesses that exhibit the hearts when their clients donate money to the CRMC and then inspire others to do the same. They are active volunteers with Bethel First Renaissance, whose mission is to enhance the appearance of Sullivan County while building a sense of pride and spirit in the community. And with the Kanyanga Lake Fire Department, where Al serves as fire commissioner and Maria serves with the Ladies Auxiliary. For over a decade, they have volunteered to be special guests at the court-appointed Special Advocates CASA Breakfast with Santa Party, CASA children and others in the foster care system. And for hundreds and hundreds of these children, Al and Maria have brought light and joy to their lives. This is a partial list that goes on, and indeed, Maria and Al's contributions are many. When I informed them that they had been chosen to receive this year's award, their first reaction was the honor they felt to be mentioned with so many incredible people, past CSA award recipients that they respect and admire. Maria shared that they serve, simply put, because it's the right thing to do. And Al shared that people always ask him how he can wear so many different hats. And Al always tells them, it's not a bunch of different hats, it's one hat It says across the front, I am Louis. Today, I am delighted that everyone in this meeting room is able to join the SYDA Foundation in acknowledging Al and Maria Frangiapane for their service. Maria, Al, thank you for your hard work, your generosity, your unwavering commitment to serving the people of Sullivan County so completely, so tirelessly. And I want to let you know that I am inspired by both of you for both the service that you offer and the way that you offer it to others. With joy, with a sense of humor, with great warmth, care, and very, very big hearts. Thank you. I now invite SYDA Foundation trustees Isabella Orlando and Arnie Drogan to present this year's Community Service Award certificate and a check for $5,000 to the honorees Maria and Ellen.
Courageous young lady. Maria and Al, I now invite you to share a few words.
What would you say is one time reason I get the last word? Not the last word, so here she is.
Though I'm not familiar with public speaking as my husband is, I'll try to get through this sounding like I do have some experience. I came back to Sullivan County, and excuse me, please, notes, I couldn't do it alone. I came back to Sullivan County in 1976, 12 years after I graduated high school. Moving to Bethel and having 3 children, the ages of 6, 8, 6, and 3, was definitely a test. Funzie and I agreed that if it was too much for either of us, I would move back to Brooklyn. This is Funzie, right? I knew no one in Continental Lake, no one. I figured I would check to see what clubs or organizations I could join to meet people. In the meantime, I met a young man at the time, Leon, who I'm sure is not here today. He's been quite ill. But it was nice to know that I knew at least one person. Over the next year, I met a number of nice people. It certainly wasn't like Brooklyn, where you stood outside the school and chatted with your moms and dads. This here, where we lived, we waited at the end of the driveway and hoped that Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear didn't come out to chat. The second year was easier. I met Paul, who happens to be here, I think. Paul? There he is. Paul was Denise's fourth grade teacher. He asked me to be his homegrown mother. After that, things were easy. I got involved with PTA and became the PTA president. Paul was my vice president, and my girlfriend Elaine was secretary. I can't even remember who else was on the board at the time. It's so long ago. After that, like I said, things got much easier. My friendship with Paul as well was a strong friendship for over 35 years, along with me. I lost my spot. Paul has been like a brother to me. And till today, I love him as much as I love my brother. So there was PTA, Brownies, and Girl Scouts. After all of the busyness, the years passed. The kids now were grown, graduated high school, and were off to college. And I was off to the empty nest syndrome. Thank God that Fruity retired, so I thought. I will begin by saying that Al and I do not do the things that we do to get the attention and kudos in a press release. By the time I'm finished here, you will realize that we do what we do because to help others, as Al puts it, is the right thing to do. And the feeling is always so awesome. Together we got more involved in community again, this time at a different level. There were Lions and Red Cross work to do and people to help. As a Red Cross volunteer, and I make it short here, the most moving experience I had was doing intake after Hurricane Sandy, through the Liberty Village property owners' home. These people are present here today. As I did the initial intake, I held your hand and cried along with you. Afterwards, you were told where you could go to get help. I watched you go often to check on how your puppy was, just to see if he was doing okay. I wanted to make sure that you yourself had gotten something to eat. I watched you and I could see the relief in your eyes when you realized that we were okay people digging into your personal life. Then to see the trust coming through your tears after the shock that eased somewhat, well, that was most gratifying. The next night I went home to shower and change clothes after spending the night in the shelter, thinking how fortunate I was to have a home to go to. Upon approaching the corner of our property, I saw my son with a chainsaw, logging a tree on the corner of our property. I realized that Sandy had not spared us completely. She took out half of the biggest tree on my front lawn, my favorite tree on the property, just cosmetics. How selfish of me to be crying like a baby over a tree and still have my home. You had thanked us many times for the help and for our friendship. I continue to think how fortunate we were to be able to help you and for the friendship that we have had since then. I thank you for that gift of friendship that we now share. I think I know what I said. Then there was a fire that took families home and worldly possessions. Thank you. Now helped them through the devastation of the first milking on the ashes. You shook as you reached out and thanked him with a hug and a handshake, for the assistance of a place to sleep, for toiletries, and for a few toys for the children until you could get on your feet again. This helped to get the children past the scary sound of fire trucks. Thank you. Past the fire trucks and the visual of flames where their bedrooms once stood. Then later, to have the gentleman of the home remember Al some months later and approach him and say, "Thank you, Al. You were the one person who gave my wife hope before the ashes were consumed." And to others with other issues, we saw your frustration when you could not read the Daily Times Herald Record because you could not afford to get your eyes examined or purchase your eyeglasses. I'm the crier in the family. So I brought tears to my eyes when I saw how happy you were to breeze over the front page of that same newspaper, and to do a crossword puzzle without a magnifying glass. It was a pleasure to have you reach out and shake my hand saying, thank you, as you donned your new lenses. To the ones who could not hear what people beside them were saying and what was being said on TV, with the help of your local Lions Club, thus putting in contact with Vaudeville, I smile as you giggle because you can hear us speak your names. And then you say the words that touch us so. Thank you so very much. This is why we do what we do. Thank you. Two little words that do so much for us. With Christmas right around the corner, we anticipate the sounds of the children of Castle laughing as they hear Santa's ornery elf shouting that he hears jingle bells and that Santa is coming, and the excitement that it shows when it is their turn to sit on his lap and have their pictures taken. I help Santa often, and oh, what a pleasure it is to see the children's eyes light up. To all of you who have come to celebrate this award with us, I speak on behalf of Al as well when I say that this prestigious community service award is accepted with pride. Now, thinking back on the sad moments as well as the happy moments, as I have so many times before, I thank you for the gift of your friendships. For all of you who are part of our community, to those of you who took part in putting this day together, and again, to those of you who have shared the laughter and the tears, I also make a promise to you that we will continue to give back to the community that we love so very much. And I say thank you to you, and you, and you. On behalf of both of us.
Al, you got nothing? Just check. I've never known you to be at a loss for words.
There were people here present ready to tackle me if I take too much time. However, first, before, I just want to thank the SYDA Foundation, the Board of Trustees. They put this all together as very big. See, I want to thank the legislative body, Councilors and other legislators for allowing us to do this during a very, very busy season. That's a rock, in case you don't know by now. And what we see here, which came to fruition, the efforts of people who put so much of our efforts. There's the foundation, and it goes back very simply to 1976, a simple suggestion I made to Maria. When we purchased a home, which was going to be a summer home, the children were 8, 6, and 3, respectively, and I suggested to her, Maria, what would you think of making this a permanent home and enrolling our children up here? And she said, let's give it a try. Let's give it a try is what we have here today. That was the impetus that started it all for us. It's a place for my children, a safe haven. And I look around the room, I know we're being honored and we're thrilled. I see many faces. Over the years I've asked me, how do you do it? How do you do it? You're so involved, you and Maria. Those same people asking me are those who are involved as well. And it's monotonous trying to answer that question when it's redundant. However, I just want to say thank you to a number of people. I was giving you brief. Let's go back to '92 when I was interviewed by a newspaper in Brooklyn, and we're getting close to retirement. I shared with the reporter at the time, and I was looking forward to my retirement because I wanted to be with my loved ones. I mean, going home, being a weekend husband for 18 years, There's the rock that made it possible. She was mommy, daddy, softball, baseball, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, after school meetings, driving children there, driving other children. Al was down in Brooklyn. Al expected the red carpet when he came home on Friday, but that only lasted 2 weeks. I was told. My wife redacted a phrase as a first right of refusal, so no, I've had a tough week. Now, I see people in this room that are very intricate in getting us here again today. One, my lovely daughter Denise, on a Saturday morning right after my retirement, she asked what I was doing, and she wanted me to accompany her to the Bradston for the Sullivan Renaissance meeting many years ago. I met Mr. Sanderson there, and I remember saying, this young man has a future in this county. And I was so right. And I thank you for being my friend. And then I was up at the Harris Hospital. This is where it all started. I walked into the lobby, and there's this little blonde lady on the ladder putting hearts up on the wall. It was in February, and it was the Heartathon. This is many years ago. She approached me and said if I had a few minutes, she'd like to speak to me in her office there. A lady standing back there, Jody Goodman, and she felt that my wife and I would be good patient advocates. And she said she viewed us at the Paramount Hotel where there were 250 elders, break out in the middle of the night again in February. And they went up to Liberty High School with pajamas and blankets. And I often wondered why people 80 years old were just wearing blankets at 2 o'clock in the morning. But we helped them out. And Jody said she observed us, and she thought we'd be good patient advocates. And I really thank her for that, because it was the next time I visited the hospital, she said, Al, please come to my office. We have this home tour. I'd like to know if you'd be interested in that. I said, why not, Joe? You never stayed at home before. And so I became involved, and so did my wife, did the home tour. And then one week after that, it was Al. We talked. We'd like you to be the chair of the Heartathon next year. What do you think of that? I said, Jody, whatever you say. It seems like you got me right here, and that's where I'm going to be. So this is where it all started. And by virtue of that, I met people along the way, visiting the hospital, visiting the high school. I ran at the high school, a young lady who's present here today, and she walked out of a room, and she was hosting a blood drive. And she said, can I help you? I said, well, I'm here, I'm a vendor for the Red Cross. That was many years ago. That young lady, Dawn, who's then a child now, I believe, is here. She's part of the Thunder Radio. And she eventually introduced me to Paul, who got me involved with the Haiti. The Iraqi, Afghanistan. These are all radio ones. And why? Because the experience. There's a young lady here from WSUL, who I've worked with for over 10 years on radio cons, raising money for the hospital up in Paris. So there it is. We're here being honored, but these people are here, they're the impetus for getting me where I stand today. And I deeply respect that. We also have here today a young group of people who are going to be a recipient of one of our donations. It's called Team Young. These children apparently know how to read well because they see the signs in the window, not the cellar, that says we buy gold and silver. They be going all over the East Coast, bringing home gold medals, silver medals, and I want to give these kids a hand. These are the things that make me tick. And I have some dear friends out here, and I'm wrapping this up soon, but to allude to one, I have to go back. When I worked in the Supreme Court, and I was actually supervising 30 courtrooms. And one time, I was asked to put into an office a woman that apparently was having problems. And when she retired, she gave me a gift. And then eventually, I retired. But when she retired, she gave me a gift. It was the Scales of Justice light touch. And the card that accompanied it said, when no one else cared and did a thing, you without even knowing helped me through it all. And I couldn't understand, I couldn't fathom why, what I did, what I said to make this woman fearless. But apparently, something happened during a conversation. And then the tables turned on me, and that's what I'm talking about, dear friend, here today. When I was a recipient of that care, at a time when Maria was experiencing a third major spinal surgery. And this friend of mine, talking with him in this establishment, without knowing, gave me a list. John Bogart, I'll forever be grateful. That's my favorite. And there's another gentleman here today that, through it all, whether it be the Harlequin, the trips to Casa, the Bethel Woods, nobody better than woman of the crowd, Mr. Shelley Mecca. Thank you, Shelley. And 53 is a young age to pass away. Unfortunately, my brother did. It's approximately 25 years ago. And I met a man recently through that connection with Liberty High School and across the area, the radio station. And this is the closest thing that I have that brings me to feelings of a brother, Paul Silverio. I thank you for that. Again, in closing, I just wanted to say, the woman here is a rock. She's an organizer. She doesn't support the things that I do. She's involved with the things that I do. I can remember many years ago, when we were traveling down from Brooklyn, we had moved to a 50th birthday party for a relative of mine. And we were only living up there a couple of years. And on the way, she was driving, and I said to her, Maria, you got to do me a favor. When I turn 50, I want you to have my birthday party down in Brooklyn, because I want all my friends to be there. We're only living here a couple of years, and I didn't know that many people, because I was working in Brooklyn. Well, in 1989, well, her answer at that point was, it was pretty quick too. She says, Funzy, she says, when you turn 50, we'll host you a birthday party upstate, and then we'll see how many friends you really have. Well, in 1989, Maria threw a big surprise birthday party for me. Yes, 89, folks, don't do that. I'm going to be 75 in June. I see all counting fingers and toes out there. She did throw that party for me. It was upstate, where a lot of the people sitting here today were my friends. I still have friends in Brooklyn. This is my family friends here, and I'm proud to say that. But in the middle of the party, when my daughter did sing, "You Light My Life," they opened the rear doors to the firehouse, and guess who came in? Yes, my buddies from Brooklyn and their wives. So she remembered it. A special thanks to my daughter Claudia for getting me involved with the 5K runs and those other things you do in February when you give me the position at the corner of the lake, which is frozen over with the wind blowing. I really enjoyed it. And I want to congratulate my son Nick, because he has become known as the man with the golden hands in this area. He is really some craftsman. I'm very proud of you, Nick. And equally proud when you consider or think about what gives you the opportunity, affords you the opportunity to go out and do things and volunteer nature, to enjoy the camaraderie of people, but you don't have to worry about what's going on in your children's family and your grandchildren's family. And I'm very proud to say that my 3 children married very well. As Bill, Jerry, and I'm very proud of them. In closing, yes, here, I just want to say that I'm going to be 75. Maria's going to be around at least for another 25 years. I'm willing to go continue until such time as it takes for me to say no more, but I don't know if that will ever happen. I enjoy working with the Dunlaps, and I enjoy working with the yellow cab, the Kesta, and I enjoy working with all the people that are here today. And I just enjoy life. I breathe what this is all about. I breathe. This is my life. This is what I enjoy doing. This is what I want to do until I take my last breath. And the Blonsky and the Donna, and it's the same people time and time again. And Rosie, oh God bless you. She pushes me sometimes, and the Brown family, the Foxes, very much. These are people, other couples that do it and do it well. I thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Al. I think it exemplifies who you are on the day that you are being acknowledged, to acknowledge all the rest of the members of the community and your family who have been such an integral part of supporting you and being who you are. Thank you. There are also elected officials here today who also wish to honor the Frangipanis. They will be presenting certificates of merit acknowledging the Frangipanis community service. And first, I would like to introduce Christine Schiff, representing Congressman Chris Gibson.
Al, Maria. I want to say I'm kind of glad Chris isn't here because I get to give you the certificate. You've been mine and Mike's friends for a very long time. The list of things that you do, you make me tick. And thank you for what you do. Dear Al and Maria, thank you for inviting me to this wonderful event to help recognize your great efforts with community service. Unfortunately, I cannot attend personally, so I have sent my constituent service representative, Christine Schiff, on my behalf. It is important to remember that among us are extraordinary Americans who exemplify the values of this community we live in each day. I am both thankful and grateful for the amount of hours you have donated and helped in such groups like the Thunder 102 St. Jude's Radiothon, CASA, the Catskill Regional Medical Hospital, and local chapter of Red Cross, just to name a few. On behalf of the people of the 19th Congressional District, it is my honor to recognize you both, Alfonso and Maria Frangipani, this day, November 21st, 2013, with the SIDA Foundation Community Service Board. Thank you, Congressman Chris Gibson.
Thank you, Christine. Next, we will hear from Rachel Steingart, representing Assemblywoman Adrian Young.
Hi, thank you so much for having me here today. And like Chrissy, I'm happy that Aileen couldn't make it so I could. She was so sorry and she seems to really come up. I learned a lot from both of you, and I never met you until today, but I know your kids, and they're unbelievable people, and now I see where they get it from, and I know that I am going to do more for my community based on what you do for yours, and I think we've all learned that from both of you. On behalf of Aileen, she had a proclamation prepared for the New York State Assembly to thank you and acknowledge all that you have done, do, and will continue to do for your community, and I want to say thank you.
You'll get them. Just keep them safe. Thank you, Rachel. For the next presentation, we will hear from Scott Samuelson, Chairman of the Sullivan County Legislature.
Good afternoon. Al, Maria, I am so sorry that I don't have a gorgeous woman who will present today. You are stuck with me. And it is my honor. And I am so proud to even live in your community. The work that you do for the county, but also for the town of Bethel, for the village of Kaniaga, is extraordinary. Not only you and Maria and you, but your family. We are so lucky to have you here in the community. But on behalf of the Sullivan County Legislature, I want to give you the certificate of special recognition. It is presented to Alfonso and Maria Francipani for being the recipient of the SYDA Foundation Community Service Award for the year 2013 in recognition of your exceptional and ongoing volunteer service to the people of Sullivan County, notably running the Bethel Lions SEE program, staffing the local American Red Cross shelter during Storm Sandy, and raising funds for many local and national organizations through radiothons and other fundraising events. Congratulations on this honor, and thank you.
Couldn't get away without Rico.
Let her hold those plaques.
This doesn't mean I'm running for office.
We should be thanking you, you shouldn't be thanking us.
I don't know.
Over here.
Follow Rich, I guess.
Four is in charge. Okay, very excited.
And if somebody could use the second step too.
A gorgeous woman, I might add.
Can a couple people get up in those?
I don't mind that at all.
While you're here, while you're here.
Yeah, you're staying.
Wait, Denise, while you're here.
Wait a minute, you guys.
Right after, just a minute. Just a minute.
While you're doing all that, can I say one thing?
Coming down with Maria.
Okay, now you can squeeze it. Your chin. One, two. One. Frangipani. Wait a minute. We're bringing the family up for the next one.
While they're coming up, I just want to say one thing I have to say. At the SYDA Foundation, during Hurricane Sandy and the Browns fire, was there at that college giving food and all the essentials that were necessary to make people comfortable. I neglected to say that. I want to make sure that people realize what they do for this county.
Can son-in-laws get in this photo?
No.
And where's Jerry D?
Thank you.
You can relax now. You can relax. Always good to see you.
a Macy's place.
Maria, and now we only have one.
You know I wear it every day.
So I will now present a certificate of merit on behalf of State Senator John Bonsick, who is unable to be here today. Thank you all for joining us and acknowledging Al and Maria Frangipani for the exceptional service that these two great hearts offer to the Sullivan County community and to our people. And on behalf of the SYDA Foundation, I would like to thank each of you, Sullivan County legislators, for all of the great work that you do for Sullivan County and for providing the forum for the 28th Annual Community Service Order presentation. Thank you, legislators. Thank you, everyone. To honor the proceedings and the legislators' time, I would like to encourage everyone to go to the lobby, and we'll move out of the meeting room so they can continue with legislative business. Thank you.
Okay, is everybody back? Paging Gene Benson. Paging Gene Benson.
I can do communications.
Wow. Okay. Communications, please.
Certified report of available revenues for fiscal year 2014 filed by County Treasurer Ira J. Cohen on October 15th. Resolution number 516 of 2013 adopted by a board of chosen tree holders of the County of Warren, calling for the imposition of a flood prevention policy that will mandate a 10% voids in reservoirs that can impact the Delaware River that are owned by the City of New York and regulated by the United States Supreme Court decree of 1954. Notice availability of interventor funding, second round issued on October 25th, 2013 from the Public Service Commission, received on October 29th, and a notice of technical conference concerning NYISO analysis of incremental transfer capability, also from the Public Service Commission. Letter dated October 24, 2013, from Dr. Escara of the Prasad Children's Dental Health Program, asking for help to secure funding to help make up $25,000 deficit that new grant restrictions will bring to the Prasad program. Letter received November 14, 2013, from Maura Palmer of Grahamsville, asking the legislature to support the proposed resolution authorizing Commissioner Parker to retain outside legal counsel. Resolution number 197 adopted by the Delaware County Board of Supervisors on November 13th, supporting the establishment of a Southern Tier Office of Mental Health Department of Mental Health. Chairman Samuelson's appointment to the Sullivan County Youth Board, and records destruction notifications in accordance with Sarah filed by the Department of Family Services dated October 17th, Department of Community Services dated October 23rd, Records and Data Department of DFS dated October 25th, Real Property Tax Services dated November 4th, Department of Family Services again dated November 4th, and Payroll Department dated November 14th. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Nobody has signed up for public comment, but is there anybody in the room that would like to make any statements? Okay.
Mr. Chair, I'll be very brief. I just want to let everyone know we appreciate the trust that you've placed in us, and I guess it's now on us to deliver a project that you can be proud of. We're looking to move forward as quickly as we can, and we thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I would like to take our resolutions today in reverse order. I'd like to start with the addendum, the resolutions that were passed earlier in executive. So number one.
Which is a roll call vote.
I'll move it.
Second. Gene, second. Discussion. Okay. Roll call.
Mr. Samuelson.
Yes.
Mr. Benson.
Yes.
Mrs. Labuda.
Yes.
Ms. Vedder.
No.
Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
Mrs. Geiger.
Yes.
Mrs. Edwards.
Yes.
Mr. Steingart.
Yes.
Mr. Sorensen.
No.
Passes 7-2.
Thank you. Number 2.
Create a new probation officer within the probation department's alternatives to incarceration pre-child release program.
Kathy, second.
Second.
Gene. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed?
9-0.
Thank you. Number 3.
Modify resolution number 182 of 13 requiring Board of Ethics members to file an annual financial disclosure statement.
Motion?
I'll move it.
Gene, second, Alan. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
9-0.
Thank you. 4.
Move 4 through 6 in a block, they're plans.
Motion to move 4 through 6 in a block. Motion. Second, Kathy. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
9-0.
Thank you. Number 8.
Number 7,
Seven, right.
authorize an agreement with Bethel Woods.
Motion. Okay, Alan, Ira. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you.
9-0.
Number 8.
Establish a protocol for the coordinated defense of tax certs and tax exemption proceedings by town, school districts, and the county of Sullivan on an annual basis.
Motion.
Gene, second. Alan. Discussion. All in favor?
9-0.
Opposed? Number 9.
Amend the solid waste management rules.
Motion.
Motion.
Jonathan, second. Gene. Discussion. All in favor? Any opposed?
9-0.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to the other resolution, regular agenda. Number 1, modify the 2013 county budget. Jonathan, second.
I'll second.
Cindy. Okay, any discussion?
I just have one comment.
Yes, ma'am.
What I'd like to say is that I've heard from a lot of comments from department heads and different people throughout the building, how relieved they were with the budget process to date this year. It's been the word that I heard was fair, clean, and transparent, and I'd just like to take a moment to thank our budget commissioner / acting county manager for making this a relatively easable process. Thank you very much.
Any other comment? Okay, all in favor? Opposed?
9-0.
Number 2.
Resolution introduced by Management and Budget Committee to adopt a solid waste fee schedule for 2014.
Motion. Cora, second. Alan. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed?
9-0. Resolution introduced by the Personnel Committee to modify a position in the county attorney's office.
Motion.
I'd like to move to table this. A couple of questions came up over the last day or so, and I'd like a little more time on this. Yes, to table.
Is a motion
We have a
on it?
motion to table, second. Cindy? Okay. Any discussion on it?
Well, I'd like to have,
There is no discussion. All in favor?
Kitty, Cindy,
no,
Cora,
For
Jean,
table.
To table.
and Alan. It's tabled, that's it. Let me just say that again. Kitty, Cindy, Cora, Jean, and Alan. Okay, that's it. Resolution introduced by the Public Works Committee to amend the amount of funding allocated to renovations within the Adult Care Center Hill Grant Project.
Motion. Alan, second. Cindy? All in favor? Opposed?
9-0.
5 through 7, they're
Hold on,
Hold on,
Jonathan. Can you move, you can move 6. We need to take care of 5.
We need to do number 5, which I believe is amended.
Resolution introduced by Planning Environmental Management Real Property Committee to convey Bethel 17-1-20 to Marvin and James Gordon.
Okay.
So I need a motion and a second.
Need a motion, Cindy, second, Jonathan.
Okay, so now it needs to be amended to reflect the last paragraph.
Okay.
Now therefore be it resolved, Marvin is deceased, so we need to take Marvin out and put in James S. That's what I was told by the treasurer's office.
James F.
S, and
S,
Sam.
Sam, okay. We have a motion on the amendment,
I'll
please.
move that.
Jonathan, second Cindy. Okay, can we have, all in favor of the amendment? All in favor of the resolution as amended?
Line zip.
Thank you.
6 and 7.
6 and 7 as a block. We motion to move 6 and 7 as a block. Second, Alan. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
Line zip.
Thank you.
8 through 16, the modification of the contract.
Jonathan.
Okay, motion to move 8 through 16 as a block. Second, Ira. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
Line zip.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it for resolutions. I'd like to take some time to recognize my colleagues, if anybody has any comment.
Sam came to our committee meeting several weeks ago and said he's down one attorney. And just half an hour ago, we told.
Table.
No, but
Can't
things
talk
there.
about the resolution, talk about.
Yes, you can, I'm not talking about that, I'm just saying, hold on. Every other position that anybody came before this board now was filled, so I think that my colleagues that have questions, we need to have an efficient county attorney's office, and if you have questions, you speak to Sam ASAP, because he cannot run the office with one full-time attorney. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I just want to make a comment that even though I was against the resolution regarding the resident property, I wish them all good luck in that. And I do hope that we do see something that helps this economy and this county grow.
Ira?
I just want to thank my peers for voting Apollo in. Since I got on the board, it's the first project that I was starting to work on with Conover, and when they backed out, it was a disappointment. Their plans, obviously, they went and tried to market it, they couldn't succeed, and I know Butch is going to make this a reality. We need the jobs, we need the sales tax, and I appreciate everybody supporting it, and I do believe it's right for the county, so thank you.
Ira, maybe you could get a blue solar and wind and some alternative green roof. That would be good too, right?
I'll bring it up.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, I would like to ask for a motion to go into executive session regarding a personnel issue. Second, Cora.
Who moved it?
First, Kathy, second, Cora. All in favor?
Will
Okay,
you
there
be entertaining?
there will be no action when we come out of executive, so I thank everybody today for coming out, participating in the governmental process.